DD Kisan, the pride of evolving India.
Ram Ram Bhai Satyavan.
Ram Ram brother, Ram Ram.
What are you farming this time?
This time I will be direct showing paddy Chaupal.
We never direct sound like this before.
Brother, it's fair. I just trained at Pusa Institute. They gave me 2 excellent seeds. The weeds that bothered us before don't grow with these. We have learned that.
Why are you fooling us, brother?
Come on, Amit, come on.
If we mess around this much, we'll ruin both our land and money, you understand?
Look, money won't be wasted. Once herbicides applied, issues are gone and the pad is fine. It has many benefits. 30 to 35% water is saved, plus last year I had liver problems. My nursery was 40 days old. No labor. With direct sowing, no labor is needed. It also helps global warming. The methane from puddling with a rotavator used to release toxic gases. This gives relief from that too. It has many benefits, I'm telling you.
This will bring many benefits, brother.
If you need more information, let's go to the Krishi Chaupal. All the scientists are there.
Let's go, brother, let's go.
First moong, then paddy. That's a clever farmer. The saying among the farmers, where I am right now, is very popular. But this isn't just a saying. Behind it lies a secret of nature's science. Moong is a leguminous crop that fixes nitrogen in the soil, providing nutrients for paddy. That was about nature's science. But how can farmers increase income at low cost? What's the science behind that? We'll understand this. How farmers connected with modern farming techniques. Here you will find solutions to every farmer's problem. Hello, you are watching DD Kisan. Welcome to Krishi Chaupal with me, Bhuvan Sharma. Today on Krishi Chaupal, we'll discuss Kharif crops. But before that, let's talk about something important related to a central government campaign. This nationwide campaign for farmers is called the Vikasit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan. Its aim is to ensure modern agricultural techniques reach farmers and scientific solutions to their problems reach their fields. The solution to their every problem. It's quite interesting that our program, Krishi Chaupal, is moving forward with same objective. We can say we have also become a part of this campaign. Let's begin this campaign with the discussion. First, let me tell you that renowned agricultural scientists from the country and our farmer brothers and sisters from far and wide have joined us in this Chaupal. So a big round of applause for all of you. This program begins with Dr. C.H. Srinivas Raoji, who is the director from the Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Sir, a very warm welcome to you. Dr. Rabindranath Padaria is here. You are the joint director. We have Dr. Sanjay Singh Rathore. Besides him, Dr. Gopal Krishnan, who is the head of genetics. We have Dr. Ananta Vashishtji, who is a principal scientist. And also Dr. P.S. Brahmanandji, project director, WICIARI. A very warm welcome to you all. So let's continue the question answer session. You all know that in Krishi Chaupal, we directly get answers from the scientists present here regarding farmers' problems and their questions. We also have some questions, as we have done some research on this topic. We'll come to all those questions and get answers from the scientists. But before that, let's watch a report. When India's soil is soaked by the first rains of June. The journey of Kharif crops begins. Crops like paddy, maize, millet, cotton, sugarcane and moong not only adorn our plates but also form the basis of the country's economy and farmers' livelihoods. To make this Kharif season more scientific, sustainable and profitable, the Government of India launched the Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan. This special nationwide campaign ran until June 12th. Its objective was to provide farmers with information on scientific, advanced techniques for Kharif crops and government schemes. In every district and village, the Agriculture Department, Krishi Vigyan Kendras and renowned agricultural scientists from across the country united with a shared resolve to achieve better yields, lower costs and empower farmers.
The Vikasit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan means that scientists should leave their labs and go to the fields, sit with farmers in villages and explain that this soil is like this. It has this much potash, this much organic carbon, it has this much nitrogen. So plant these seeds. This is what farmers should be told.
The Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan is a beginning for the dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat, where farmers are not just food providers but also decision makers. So they can not only contend with weather and market fluctuations but also be capable of making their own decisions. This initiative by the Government of India signals a prosperous, self-reliant and modern Indian agriculture. The journey of Kharif crops is now on a new path of scientific thinking, digital tools and sustainable farming. From May 29th to June 12th, over 700 districts came under the ambit of this campaign, and scientific solutions to farmers' problems reached them in a sustainable way. We will now discuss the success of this campaign. How can farming become smart? How can costs be reduced and yields and income maximized? We'll have a detailed discussion on this. Let's start with Dr. Srinivas. Sir, the first question is about the success of this campaign itself. The central government dedicatedly launched this nationwide campaign for farmers. How successful do you consider it? And how helpful are the techniques discussed during this campaign for Kharif crops, especially since Krishi Chaupal today focuses on that?
We included at least 1.5 crore farmers in this outreach program across 700 districts where we conducted this initiative. Our discussions focused on how to use new seeds and the importance of seed replacement for this Kharif season. You know, the rains are expected early, so we explained the techniques for seed management accordingly. Furthermore, we discussed how to adapt and move forward considering the climate change challenges across the country. You know, often in India, we use excessive fertilizers. We discussed how much fertilizer to apply based on soil health card tests rather than over-applying. You know, additionally, we discussed pests and integrated pest management, that is IPM. Look, we discussed disease management along with crops. Beyond just crops, we also talked about issues related to cattle, goats, fodder crops, fisheries, and simultaneously poultry. We discussed all of this with our farmer brothers and sisters. And from this week-long outreach, we estimate and hope that there is a possibility of at least a 2 to 3% increase in our crop yield.
We'll also get feedback from farmers themselves on the success of this campaign. Dr. Rabindranath Padaria ji, my question to you is about a common dilemma for farmers. Speaking of the Kharif season which has arrived, Farmers are often very confused about crop selection. We have frequently observed this. In today's era, what are the techniques or new crops that can yield both higher production and greater profit? What is your take on this? Please tell us.
You have asked a very good question. As soon as the Kharif season arrives, farmers' worries increases, especially due to the climate changes. I would request all farmer brothers that when choosing a crop or variety, they must definitely keep in mind what information is available regarding rainfall. We should keep our first eye on it and gather information through various sources and what's going on to happen based on the weather and rainfall, so we can choose the appropriate crop and variety. We also need to see which variety will do well in which type of soil, and some areas have light soil and others have heavy soil. What is the basis of our soil? What kind of water is available? How is the rain expected to be? These factors must be considered when choosing varieties. Secondly, we have been following traditional methods for crops like paddy and wheat, just doing what we have always done. However, if we want to earn more income, we will need to move toward crop diversification, which will be discussed further in this announcement. But there I would like to mention that there are many new types of crops that farmers can now consider, such as vegetables, including off-season vegetables and fruits. If you can incorporate these, dedicated some of your land to such crops, you will be able to earn significantly more income through diversification.
So, Doctor, you have talked about soil, water and climate change. Let's talk to the farmers. They have many questions. Here we have farmer Satpal Dhakra Sahab. Please ask your question.
One problem we farmers face is that a seed variety that yields well in one field doesn't give a good yield in another. So my question is, how do we select seed for the Kharif season? And what precautions should we take? How should we choose seeds considering the soil and climate?
Dr. Gopal Krishnan, please answer this.
Yes, farmers, we must choose good varieties and improved seeds keeping in mind the soil, water and changing climate. Improved seeds means certified seeds or truthfully labeled TL seeds. We should obtain these from authorized agencies like ICR institutes or state agricultural universities. This is essential for good production. So, we must always get quality seeds from authorized sources. I think this gives the answer to your question and this will solve your problem. Thank you.
We have discussed about seeds and I think Satpalji, you have got your answer. We have another farmer with us, Mr. Kuldeep. Please ask your question.
I want to ask, with monsoon season here, and it's even early this time. Sometimes the monsoon comes early, sometimes late, sometimes it's heavy, sometimes light. So how can farmers maximize their profit from Kharif crops? How can they get more Kharif yield even with less rain? And how can they manage it if there is too much rain?
For this question, I think Dr. Ananta will be able to give a better answer.
Your monsoon season will run from June to September. During the monsoon, you see that sometimes there's a lot of rain and sometimes there's less. This time, the good news is that the Indian Meteorological Department has predicted a normal monsoon. So, the rainfall this time will be normal, and in areas like central India or the south peninsular area, there will be more than normal rainfall. However, our northwest region will experience normal rainfall. So now that we know the upcoming monsoon rainfall will be good, the first step is to select your crops. We have several types of crops. Paddy, for instance, it's our main crop. Besides that, there are pulse crops and vegetable crops. We have many crops that love water. We call them water loving. Then there are some crops that are quite sensitive to water, like our pulse crops or vegetable crops. So we need to manage them accordingly from now on, because as you all are seeing, due to climate change, there's a lot of variability in the weather. We mentioned that monsoon rainfall will be normal, but what about its distribution? Often you see rain that's expected over 3 or 4 days falls in just 1 or 2 days. Sometimes all the water pours down in just 4 or 5 hours. This leads to problems like waterlogging in our fields. If you have planned vegetable crops or pulse crops, waterlogging can cause damage. So, for management, you should arrange for proper drainage to ensure water drain out. I would even suggest creating a pond in that area right now, or you could build an Amrit Sarovar as part of that campaign, or simply a pond or reservoir near your field. This way, any water drained from your field will collect there. As I said, there's a lot of variability now. You have dry periods becoming more frequent and longer. In the monsoon, some days are wet periods and some are dry periods. Since these dry periods are increasing, you can then use the water collected from your field with a pump or other means to reapply it to your crops.
We discussed about crop selection, climate change, and how farmers can prepare for water conservation in advance. Reliance on rain is natural, it's a gift of nature. But we learned from you, Dr. Ananta, how farmers can prepare themselves. Thank you very much, Dr. Ananta, for that answer. We are taking a short break now, but when we return after the break, we'll talk about sowing, focusing on new technologies, and we'll have more questions from the farmers. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back after a short break.
यूरिया का स्वदेशी उत्पादन 70 लाख टन बढ़ाने के लिए 6 उर्वरक संयंत्रों का उद्धार किया जा रहा है। FCIL के गोरखपुर, सिंदरी, तलचर और रामागुंडम संयंत्र, HFCL की बरौनी इकाई और BVFCL की नामरू फोर्थ। सोने पर सुहागा ये है कि देश में अब बनेगा सिर्फ नीम लेपित यूरिया, क्योंकि इससे होगा किसानों का फायदा ही फायदा। अनाज का उत्पादन 10% तक बढ़ेगा। बढ़ेगी 10 से 15% नाइट्रोजन क्षमता।
Welcome back once again after the break. You are watching Krishi Chaupal. We have renowned scientists from across the country with us, and our farmer brothers and sisters from far and wide are part of this gathering. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. Before the break, we discussed crop selection, but there are many other important aspects that need to be discussed. You'll have your questions and we'll give the answers. But before that, here's our special report on Kharif crops. Please watch this. The Kharif season starts with proper field preparation. With the monsoon's first drop, farmers get ready with their plows, tractors and seeds. Tilling the soil, maintaining moisture and timely sowing are the first steps to a good yield. Kharif crops are vital for India's food security, providing nearly 50% of the country's total food grain production. In 2023-24, total food grain production was 3,322.98 lakh tons. Maize accounted for 248.11 lakh tons, pulses 260.58 lakh tons, and oilseeds 413.55 lakh tons. Paddy is India's most widely grown Kharif crop, contributing over 40% of the total food grain output. And it is prominent in states like West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. Pests and diseases are the biggest threats to Kharif crops. The pink bollworm and white fly have caused significant damage to cotton farming in recent years. Blast disease in paddy and stem borers in maize are also common issues. But don't worry, proper methods can prevent them. Looking at production records, Kharif crop output has steadily increased over the past few years. This is due to better monsoons, improved seeds and government schemes. After sowing, we should also talk about technologies. Which technologies can farmers use to increase their yield and income? This discussion is very important. We'll get to that. First, a question related to soil. The health of the soil, what we call soil health, is often neglected. What impact does this have, and what specific things should farmers keep in mind, if you can tell them here?
Soil plays a very important role. The nutrients in the soil fulfill the plant's needs and the crop's requirements. However, in some farmers' fields, certain nutrients are either in excess or deficient. That's why we always say soil testing is essential. Just as health is crucial for humans, the soil also needs to be healthy. We should apply fertilizer based on its composition. What often happens is that without testing, we tend to apply too much nitrogen or urea. Along with that, we also apply phosphorus, which is very important. Potassium is often present in sufficient amounts in some soils, but certain crops might need more or less of it. So, we should apply potassium accordingly. Furthermore, fertilizers aren't just nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. There are also micronutrients like zinc, iron and boron. Performing tests provides the benefits of reducing excessive application and focusing on these micronutrients to ensure complete and balanced nutrition. This will increase our crop yield and also enhance the nutritional value of our food, whether it's a fruit or rice. Understood?
Dr. Debashish Mandal, there's also a question about the soil health card and how it should be used. And as far as fertilizers are concerned, how can farmers ensure their balanced use? This will answer the questions of many of the farmers.
See, soil health card is a very important topic. I hope farmers are well aware of soil health cards because approximately 22 crore soil health cards have been distributed across India so far. If you look at a soil health card, you will find information on about 12 parameters which we call metrics. These include pH, EC, organic carbon content, available nitrogen, available phosphorus, available potassium, zinc, iron, copper, manganese, boron and sulfur. So based on this information, you can manage the fertilizers for the crop you plan to grow to achieve good yields considering its specific requirements in that agricultural land. Different crops have different demands for nutrients in varying quantities. So if you manage the fertilizers accordingly, then your cost will decrease accordingly and your yield will improve. Secondly, the negative impact on the environment will also be significantly reduced. It is very important.
Let's move ahead. We have some farmers with us. Let's take their questions. We have Mr. Vigendra here. Please ask your question.
The thing is, we use urea and DAP, but for better growth and production of kharif crops, which other fertilizer should we use?
See, it's not always ideal to apply only urea and DAP to every type of soil. But most farmers do use urea and DAP when it comes to fertilizers. This is because, as you all know, urea contains about 46% nitrogen and DAP has 16% nitrogen and 46% phosphorus. However, to farm well and get better yields, you need to focus on all 17 essential plant nutrients.
Right.
You should not focus on just 2 nutrients. You should also add the other roughly 15 essential nutrients. To do that, you need to use various methods. To put it very briefly, I'd say you should use organic farming and the organic resources you have, like compost, farmyard manure, and green manure. Alongside these, you should also use chemical fertilizers in appropriate amounts. you need to strike a balance now so that your soil remains healthy, your yield is good, and the harmful effects on the environment are also reduced. I want to emphasize that you should focus on balanced fertilization, not just using nitrogen and phosphorus. Otherwise, your soil will become imbalanced, which is not good for the soil.
We call it imbalance. Hope you have got the answer to your question. We have a farmer, Mr. Suresh Arya, with us.
When, how much, and by what method should we use nitrogen in a balanced way for this Kharif crop?
Based on the condition of our soil and the chemical nutrients available in it, it would be very beneficial to manage nutrients accordingly. In the case of nitrogen, one more thing has been observed. Often, we use a lot of nitrogen in the initial stages. For example, when we use urea for nitrogen, a large part of its availability is lost within about 15 to 20 days. Most of it either goes into atmosphere through denitrification or leaches into the ground. This results in a loss. If we look at our country, the nitrogen use efficiency is barely 40% at this time. This means that if we apply 100 kg of urea, 60 kg doesn't even reach the plants. It's simply wasted. So, if we use urea effectively, for instance, by applying it in splits or installments, we can benefit more. Additionally, devices like the leaf color chart can help. I think many farmers might have seen it. It's a very simple device. Using it, we can increase the efficiency of nitrogen utilization. Furthermore, other technologies are emerging nowadays, such as green seeker-based and sensor-based applications. If we pay attention to these things, or if we apply nitrogen based on these critical stages of the crops, we will definitely get good benefits from nitrogen and our losses will be reduced. In summary, the main point is that we need balanced nutrient management today. And for this, if we use chemical fertilizers in a balanced way along with organic manures, we can achieve good profit and yield.
Another farmer, Satyavanji, please ask your question.
What is the suitable time for direct seeding of paddy? How much seed will be required for DSR? How can we manage pests and weeds? And what are its benefits? We do a direct seeding in two ways, what we call dry DSR and wet DSR. Wet DSR is not suitable for this area because there is not much water here. Dry DSR is most favorable for Haryana, Punjab and your Delhi NCR region. With dry DSR, we also have two methods. One is Tarabatar, where water is given first, then after field preparation, we sow after a week. The second method involves immediate irrigation after sowing. The biggest problem with DSR is weeds. As you know, in transplanting paddy seedlings, water acts as a herbicide. Since water remains in the field for about a week to 15 days, no weeds grow. However, weeds are the biggest challenge in direct seeding. For this, Pusa Institute has developed two varieties that are tolerant to a herbicide called imazethapyr. When you spray imazethapyr after planting these paddy varieties, no weeds grow. These varieties are Pusa Basmati 1985, which is an improved version of Pusa Basmati 1509 and Pusa Basmati 1979, which is an improved version of Pusa Basmati 1121. Both of these varieties are tolerant to imazethapyr, so you can plant either of them. Next, regarding fertilizer quantity, you can use 50 kg of DAP, 30 to 40 kg of MOP and 10 kg of zinc. Before sowing, make sure to do seed treatment. Prepare a solution of 20 grams of Bavestin in 10 liters of water and add 2 grams of ceftriaxone to it. Soak 8 kg of seed in this 10-liter solution overnight. Then dry them slightly in the shade before sowing. After sowing, do not apply any herbicide immediately. After 48 hours, you can use a pre-emergence herbicide called pendimethalin. Take 1200 to 1500 ml of it, mix it in 250 liters of water and spray it. This will prevent certain weeds from growing. Finally, direct seeding has 3 major benefits. First, water saving. It saves 30 to 35% of water. Second, cost saving in transplanting. We spend around 4,500 rupees to 5,000 rupees per acre. Direct seeding helps save this labor cost. Third environmental benefit, transplanting leads to very high methane emissions, a greenhouse gas. But in DSR emissions are below 35%. So, it's beneficial for the climate as well. Overall, direct seeding is highly beneficial for farmers and the climate.
So, direct seeding is a revolutionary process in farming that you can use to increase your yield, and it also causes less harm to nature, which we have been referring to as climate change. We have another farmer named Mr. Bablu. Please ask your question.
In some drought-prone areas, there are a scarcity of water. Can you suggest any techniques for better water management and increased crop growth with less water?
What we need to do is harness the excellent rainfall India receives. While the timing and intensity vary, the overall quantity is good. We need to significantly strengthen our current water storage capacity. To increase this, the Government of India launched the Amrit Sarovar Yojana in 2022. Under this scheme, we have done a great job creating over 68,000 new water structures or renovating existing ones through desilting and other methods, significantly boosting storage capacity. We still need to expand it further. We also need pressurized piped irrigation system because there's a lot of conveyance loss in canals. To reduce this, the PPI system is being introduced and IARI is helping with its standards. Another important aspect is an integrated drip and mulching method which can also help farmers control weeds and reduce operational losses. We have excellent results from this as well, which we will share with you, and farmers can contact us for more information. This method is particularly useful in drought conditions. To increase your groundwater recharge, the Atal Bhujal Yojana is providing significant help. For example, we have seen excellent result in Bulandkhand with this scheme,
Right.
as well as with the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchan Yojana.
Don't go anywhere. We are taking a short break. After that, we'll discuss about climate change and pest and disease management and how to deal with new diseases and new pests. A short break. We'll be right back.
किसान भाइयों गांठ बांध लो बात बहुत है काम की समृद्धि के पैगाम की मिट्टी के मिजाज को समझो मिट्टी के हर राज को समझो मिट्टी की तुम जांच कराओ मुफ्त सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड ले जाओ कभी मुनासिब बीज लगाओ सही किस्म की खाद ले आओ जितनी जरूरी उतनी डालो सही मात्रा खुद पहचानो इसको अपना मंत्र बना लो मिट्टी की सेहत तो जानो बात बहुत है काम की कम लागत अधिक वरदान की किसान भाइयों गांठ बांध लो
आज ही मिट्टी की जांच कराएं, राज्य सरकार के कृषि अधिकारी से संपर्क करें और मुफ्त में सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड पाएं। कृषि और किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा किसान हित में
Welcome back once again after the break. You are watching Krishi Chaupal. We have renowned agricultural scientists from across the country and also farmer brothers and sisters have also joined the gathering. We are discussing about kharif crops and we'll emphasize climate change as well as pest and disease control, which we can say is the most serious issue for the farmers and the cultivation. We'll take farmers' questions on this too, but first, I have a question in my mind, which I'll ask agricultural scientist Dr. C.H. Srinivas Rao. Sir, my question is about climate change. Due to climate change, we see that the rainfall pattern is changing, and this changing pattern affects farming. What measures can farmers take, if you can explain in simple words?
Nowadays, one of the biggest challenges in agriculture is climate change, especially issues related to monsoon rainfall. And then finally, the market aspect. If we can effectively deal with both monsoon and market issues, farming in India will be much more successful. We need to manage water well, the rainfall. As I mentioned, it's too little or too much. We just need to conserve all of it, perhaps by collecting it in farm ponds. Along with this, as my colleagues mentioned, we should also use micro irrigation. Once we have collected water in farm ponds, we must also pay attention to agro advisories. Nowadays, agriculture institutes like IARI, PUSA provide agro advisories. For example, if rain is expected in the next 2 days, we should use that water. It should be restored in our farm ponds. It should only be used when needed, especially during critical growth stages. Furthermore, if monsoon rains are delayed due to climate change, fortunately, this year it seems to be on time. But if it were late, we should opt for short duration seed varieties instead of long duration ones. If it gets even later, we should consider intercropping with pulse crops alongside cereal crops. Also, the amount of fertilizer we apply during the rainy season should be adjusted. The earlier recommendation of 100 kg or 120 kg for paddy should be blindly followed, as it might lead to losses and increased costs.
Okay, I'd like to mention weather forecasting here. Dr. Ananta, this question is for you. Can any advanced planning or proactive strategy be made for pest and disease control? And if the answer is yes, how can the farmers adopt this? Please tell us about that.
Yes, as you mentioned, there are 4 warning models for this. Our institute has developed several of these. Humidity and temperature in the weather have a significant positive relationship with the appearance of pests and diseases. For this, our institute, along with other research institutes, has developed many weather-based 4 warning models. Sometimes it's sunny, but by evening you will see rain coming. Often your crop might have pests or diseases and you might go and spray, seeing that the weather is clear. But then if rain comes in the evening, all the pesticide or treatment you sprayed for protection will be washed away by the rainwater. There's a Meghdut app developed jointly by the Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICAR) and the India Meteorological Department (IMD). You should definitely download this Meghdut app on your mobile. It will provide you with weather forecast information and also guidance on weather-based agricultural activities, whether it's about pests, upcoming diseases, or their treatment and remedies. You will find all that information there.
Exactly, and we keep talking about this science. This is also a scientific achievement that we have made an app that provides farmers with weather forecasts, allowing them to plan their sowing and planting accordingly. Anandaji, thank you very much for the answer. However, pest and disease control is a very big issue, and farmers have many questions regarding that. One such farmer, Shivraj, is with us. Please ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. I want to ask, with these weather changes, are our traditional medicines becoming less effective? Is there another scientific solution for this?
Yes, less effective. Dr. Suresh, can you answer this question?
Many times we tell farmers to use a certain medicine and then they say it didn't work. For this, we should always adopt Integrated Pest Management, that is IPM. In IPM, we first gather complete information about every aspect, such as which crop we are going to plant and what pests might affect it. We need to understand the pest's life cycle and how scientists have recommended managing it. This preparation starts right from the field preparation stage. We need to know how to prepare the field and then which pest persist varieties we can use. Regarding fertilizers, which we have discussed a lot, if we especially use too much nitrogenous fertilizer, the incidence of pests and diseases will increase. This should always be kept in mind. After that, many biological pesticides are available in the market, such as Bacillus thuringiensis (BT), Beauveria bassiana, and Methyricium anisophilia. You should use them depending on your crop and the specific pest. Now, even after taking so much care, if pests still appear, we talk about economic threshold level. For example, in paddy, if 5% of your plants are affected by stem borer, meaning 5 out of 100 plants, then you should spray insecticide. Otherwise, it will cause more damage later. In such cases, we then need to look for newer medicines. Newer medicines are formulated in a way that their effect lasts longer, even if it rains or there is strong sunlight.
We have another farmer with us, Baljit Arya. Please ask your question. In a disaster situation like drought or flood, what emergency measures should be taken to protect the kharif crops?
In drought-affected areas, we need to implement contingencies cropping system as outlined in the plans. These plans account for whether drought occurs 2 weeks early or 2 weeks late, as rainfall timing can vary significantly. Considering this variability, what we need to do is have our inputs ready. This means having the right variety of seeds available at the right time. We should prepare these through a community nursery system. If we prepare them too early and they are not needed, they are wasted. So, for a certain percentage of area, farmers can organize themselves using the community nursing method. This will work very well with a cooperative approach. Secondly, as we discussed, increasing water storage, some farmers might not be able to build large structures. For them, increasing soil moisture is the key. This can be done through mulching. Nowadays, the government of India is emphasizing the importance of natural farming. In natural farming, the soil's water-holding capacity remains strong. We should implement this where it's suitable for specific climate zones and for high-value crops. After storage, to enhance water use efficiency, we should use methods like drip irrigation or sprinkler irrigation as we discussed. Now, let's talk about flood situations. When floods occur, the key question is when they happen. If a flood occurs at the beginning of the season, right after the monsoon starts, farmers still have a lot of time left. In such a situation, we can plant crops with a long duration or even medium duration ones. If we talk about paddy, for example, if the flood comes during the mid-stage, paddy won't survive and we would have to switch to another crop like pulses or oil seeds. Here, keeping crop diversification in mind, we would need to plant crops that require less water. Another point is about flash floods. When floods occur, especially flash floods that happen suddenly everywhere in India, varieties like Swarna Sub 1, to which ICR scientists have contributed, show good results. However, in areas where water gradually rises, like from Bihar to eastern Uttar Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal, there are local varieties. For instance, in West Bengal, Odisha, there are varieties like Varshadhan, Durga and Polly, which we should consider.
You have explained very well, Doctor. Let's take some more questions from farmers before we move on. Ravindra Thakran, a farmer, is with us. Please ask your question.
Hello, my question is, which pests and diseases cause the most damage to kharif crops and how we can identify them quickly to minimize losses?
For pests like the paddy stem borer, brinjal fruit and shoot borer, and tomato fruit borer, pheromone traps are available in the market. If you set up 5 to 8 traps per hectare, you will know as soon as the pests start appearing in the field. Their adult moths will get caught in the traps, which will indicate the insect activity has begun, and you need to prepare for their management. In cases where pheromone traps are not available, you will have to monitor the fields yourself and plan your management accordingly. So, you need to strategize based on whether pheromone traps are available for a particular pest or not. So, you have to plan your work schedule according to that.
Krishi Chaupal is in its final segment. I'd like to introduce the agricultural scientists who have joined us in this segment. We have Dr. Harveer Singh, Principal Scientist. A warm welcome to you. Also with us is Dr. B.S. Tomar, Head of Vegetable Science, and Dr. J.P.S. Dabas, a scientist. Additionally, Dr. Rabindranath Padaria is here, along with numerous farmer brothers and sisters. Let us begin the question and answer session. Dr. Harveer Singh, my first question is for you. Farmers work tirelessly in the fields, putting an immense effort. When their produce reaches the market, how can they reduce costs and increase profits within the supply chain? Please share some methods that the farmers can adopt about that.
When it comes to market challenges, particularly how to reduce costs, the first thing is to properly store your harvest after cutting. Ensure it has the right moisture content. Never take it to the market immediately after harvest. Before going to the market, check with your fellow farmers, knowledgeable traders, and also use online resources like EggMarkNet and eNam. These platforms provide daily prevailing market prices. Based on that information, you can decide when to which market and in what quantity you should take your produce. Now, regarding how to minimize costs when taking goods to market. Instead of going alone, repeatedly I'm saying instead of going alone, farmers can also form a group. If everyone takes their produce together, the pre-unit cost will decrease. Furthermore, even after reaching the market, if you use facilities like eNam, you will know at what price you should sell your crop and at what price you should not sell your crop. I hope everything is clear to you now.
Dr. B.S. Tomar, I have a question for you. We talk about crop diversification and we have also discussed climate change. But how can we promote crop diversification during this Kharif season so that our farmers' income increases? Ultimately, it all comes down to income.
So, for my farmer brothers, especially those in areas around Delhi or especially in Delhi who grow wheat and paddy.
Yes.
In this region, farmers are primarily cultivating paddy during the rainy seasons and wheat, mustard or in some areas vegetable crops during winter. There is a need for them to gradually diversify their farming practices alongside these traditional crops. For instance, during the rainy season, farmers can earn good income by growing leafy vegetables like spinach, palak, amaranth chaulai, and Malabar spinach vilaiti palak. Additionally, they can plant early cauliflower, for which varieties like Pusa Meghna are suitable. Promoting brinjal cultivation is another option. The advantage of these horticultural crops, as I mentioned, is their shorter duration. This allows farmers to grow 2 crops in the time it takes for 1 paddy crop, while a paddy crop might take 100 to 120 or even 130 days. We can harvest 2 vegetable crops within that same period. So diversification is our need today and the demand of the time, especially in the pre-urban areas around cities. We need to adopt horticultural crops.
We have few more farmers with us. Let's take their questions. Kuldeep Singh is with us. Kuldeep ji, please ask your question.
My question is, what platforms are available to farmers for trading the Kharif crops? Please tell us.
As far as the market is concerned, we have many advanced technologies available. ENAM, that is National Agriculture Market, is one of them. By registering there, you can get information not just about your nearby mandis, but also mandis across the entire country, their prevailing prices and all relevant details. Additionally, there are many private companies that engage in contact farming, also known as Anubandh Kheti, with farmers. The advantage here is that you know your price beforehand, what rate you will receive. So, in a way, the market risk is covered to a great extent, as you are assured of receiving a predetermined price.
We have a farmer, Gyan Singh, with us. Gyan Singh ji, please ask your question.
Sir, my question is, how can a farmer earn additional income from Kharif crops? So the question is, every farmer wants to get the maximum price for what they have produced. But when will that happen? It will happen when our farmers get organized. Something Dr. Harveer Singh also just discussed. The money a farmer has already spent is spent. But to gain more profit now, it all comes down to processing, value addition, grading and marketing. For example, since we are talking about Kharif crops, farmers need to buy seeds, fertilizers and pesticides. When they go to buy these separately from different shops, they end up paying more. However, if they work through their farm producing organizations, FPO, cooperative societies, or farmer clubs, where they collectively purchase these inputs, they will get cheaper seeds of better quality. Similarly, the pesticides will also be of good quality and cheaper. So all the margins that would have gone to traders will now come to our FPO. When they come to the FPO, these benefits will be distributed among all its members. And this is the need of the hour.
I'd like to introduce our expert panel here. We have Dr. Vishwanathan with us, who is the Joint Director of Research. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I have a question for you that's a bit away from the market topics. It's about paddy. The topic of genome editing comes up, and your institute has developed new paddy varieties through this. If you could tell our farmer brothers about them, please.
Hello to all the farmer brothers. Climate change is a very big problem we face right now. Because of it, our water availability has already significantly decreased, and it will be even scarcer as we enter the Amrit Kal. Besides that, we are seeing increasing soil salinity and alkalinity. All these issues lead to a reduction in crop productivity, which in turn reduces farmers' income. To address this, we have used a new breeding method. We have been doing plant breeding for 150 years. But the old method takes a lot of time. It takes about 15 years to release a single variety. Now a new technology called genome editing has emerged for creating new varieties. This technology even received the Nobel Prize in 2020. Using this technique, ICAR has developed two varieties. Our Pusa Krishi Sansthan in New Delhi has developed these varieties. One of them is called Pusa DST Rice 1. It's an improved version of the MTU 1010 variety. In this variety, we have improved its salinity tolerance, alkalinity tolerance and drought tolerance. This paddy variety can be grown with less water, and it can also grow in saline and alkaline conditions. It gives 10 to 30% more productivity compared to MTU 1010. We also released another variety named Kamla, developed by the Indian Institute of Rice Research in Hyderabad. This is an improved version of Samba Masuri, which is an export quality paddy. Its grain number has been increased. Each panicle produces 150 grains. But with this new variety, the grain number increases to 300. At the same time, its duration decreases from 150 days to 125 days, which is a reduction of 25 days. Productivity increases by 30%, which means the water requirement is reduced. You can give 3 to 4 fewer irrigations, and our productivity still increases by 25%. Therefore, with these two varieties, farmers' productivity will increase and their income will also rise. These are varieties developed using new technology.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vishwanathan, for sharing this information.
That's all for today's episode of Krishi Chaupal. Please allow me to sign off. Thank you all very much. Namaste.